are not doing that because they have deposited their national IDs with money lenders. So
the complainants don't come back to give evidence for prosecution to take place, but I'll explain later.
No. What I am saying, if it is you're out of court, they give you a bail from court. Is it out of police bond?
Bond, ma'am.
Okay.
Aleptong Hateu, office assistant, arrested. That one was taken to court and is on bail by NIRA staff in the ongoing National Identity Card enrollment and renewal exercise. This statement has been uploaded last minute. Hopefully members have it. And I beg your permission to proceed with the response.
Please do.
Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable members, NIRA began the mass enrollment and renewal exercise on 27th May 2025, and as of 4th August, we have received 8,254,778 applications for renewal, 834,020 applications for first-time registrations, and 33,160 applications for Get First ID for children who are now of age to receive their identity cards. This together is a total of 9,121,948 applications. Card production and issuance is also underway. That said, Right Honorable Speaker and members, NIRA has noted with concern the increasing complaints on extortion, corruption, and bribery at service centers perpetuated by imposters, NIRA registration assistants, and other cadre. The Vice has taken the following common forms. 1, selling forms. 2, paying to skip the queue. 3, extorting at different stages of the application process by different players. NIRA has taken the following steps to address this menace. 1, arresting and reprimanding the perpetrators and invoking disciplinary procedures, and below is a list of persons so far reprimanded. In Mubende District, serial number 1, we have Tulibamu, a temporary assistant, registration assistant. Action taken against him. He was arrested. He's out on bond and is terminated. Can I proceed and finish, and then you can answer your questions?
Who is in the answered? General, continue.
Thank you, Honorable members, for that observation. I was at the action taken, starting with Mubende District. Some staff of NIRA have been arrested, starting with one called Tulibamu, a temporary registration assistant, arrested, out on bond, and his services terminated. 2, Sempebwa, another temporary registration assistant, arrested, out on bond, and terminated. The third one, Naruiso, temporary registration assistant, arrested, out on bond, and terminated. Nuwaine, temporary registration assistant, arrested, out on bond, terminated. District Mitiana Lutaisire, temporary registration assistant, arrested, out on bond, and terminated. Wakiso Epalat, temporary registration assistant, suspended and later terminated. Mukono Wamala, temporary registration assistant, suspended, then terminated. Headquarters here at Kololo, Kasasira, temporary registration assistant, arrested, escaped from detention and terminated. Vusia Ojambo, information technology officer, arrested, taken to court, and out on bond and on interdiction. Aleptong Hateu.
Out of bond, out of bail.
Ma'am?
Taken to court, out of bail.
Out on bond. I will explain later, ma'am, why they are on bond, because the complainants don't come back to give evidence for prosecution to take place, but I'll explain later.
No. What I am saying, if it is you're out of court, they give you a bail from court. Is it out of police bond?
Bond, ma'am.
Okay.
Aleptong Hateu, office assistant, arrested. That one was taken to court and is on bail, not on bond, and is on interdiction. Chakua Nzi, Chankwanzi. Nabuguzi, information technology officer, arrested, taken to court, remanded, and also interdicted. Chotera, a number of them have been arrested, 4, bonded, investigations continue. This is Nantongo, Samula, Chiseka, Ayesga. One of them, Chiseka, is a businesswoman. She's not NIRA staff. And then Abim Mwanje, information technology officer, under disciplinary process. We are strengthening internal and external communication across all media platforms, emphasizing free registration and encouraging people to report corruption and advising all persons to desist from corruption. 3, providing forms being sold free of charge. On how to get the form is included in the report, https:/nira.go.ug. Some of these forms are the ones being sold, yet they are available free of charge online. 4, providing an online service that does not require one to have a physical form, also on https://preg.ncis.nira.go.ug/pre-registration, and that one is also available online. 5, sharing with the public a hotline for reporting corruption, and this is number 0776 501 071. And also sharing an email address to assist victims detail the issues they have faced during the exercise. To date, we have received 30 complaints via this email address. Number 7, distributing uniforms with identity tags across the country to ease identification of bona fide NIRA staff. Some challenges have been encountered, and these include the following. Clients not willing to disclose the full details of extorting staff and accompanying evidence. This makes cases difficult to prosecute. For example, in Kasanda, the RDC was informed by the complainants about people extorting. He caused the arrest of 2 NIRA staff and 2 non-staff. They were arrested, taken to Kasanda police station for 1 week, but no one reported to make a statement and lodge a formal complaint. They were released on bond, awaiting the complainants coming forward. 2, brokers and middlemen masquerading as NIRA staff to extort from the public. 3, partners supporting the exercise over whom the authority has no control, including local council chairpersons and others soliciting for bribes under the pretext of being NIRA staff. Oftentimes, these act as brokers. Number 4, the literacy levels of some of the clients who are unable to read and write and therefore seek services from middlemen. In conclusion, Right Honorable Speaker and members, this is to reiterate that the process of enrollment and all renewal of national IDs is free of charge. We call upon the public to be vigilant and to be bold to report whoever is trying to extort from them. Together, we can get the culprits. I beg to submit.
Thank you being given to the public for them to be able to report these cases. And we also need to encourage our members, the population, that in case there's anybody who is extorting money, we should be able to report for them to be handled legally. And then maybe to the public outside there, registration is free of charge. Yes, Honorable Baka Bulindi. Honorable Baka Bulindi.
Speaker, I also want to bring to the minister's attention that the drop or the slow pace of renewal of national IDs is not necessarily as a result of extortion. I'll give an example in my area and our district as Omoro. Most people are not turning up for renewal of their national IDs because they have deposited their national IDs with money lenders. Because if you are to come for renewal, you need to come with your national ID, the expired one. So most people are not doing that because they have deposited their national IDs with money lenders. So I think the ministry needs to do something. The president was very categorically clear that no national ID, no money lender should accept national IDs as collateral.
Actually, that is outside the scope of what we asked the minister to present. Because if you've deposited your ID with a money lender, what do you want a minister to do?
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. And I also want to thank the minister for giving us that report. Madam Speaker, coming from the islands, allow me to speak about the islands in regard to the national ID renewal. Most of our people have not accessed this because of, I think, the distance between the islands. And when it comes to extortion, Madam, excuse me. When it comes to extortion, this one in our islands comes in a way that people have to travel from one island to get to where these kids are. And they're asked to give in some money. They say, if we cannot access you, give us money such that we can get to where you are. So they say the office has not given them enough money to travel from their office to go to where the people are.
From one island to the other island.
And
so, Minister, you need to make sure that these people reach to the local person down there.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. There's information from Lucy.
I was in a place called Okidi in Atiak sub-county. I got a request from the community that I should help them hire a generator so that the officers from NIRA can go closer to the people and register, especially the older people. When I accepted, they said, no, it is not only for old people. Even us, the distance is very, very, very big for us. So this is a very big challenge, not just for the islanders, but also for those of us who represent rural districts where there's no electricity and the distances are really, really big. So, Minister, you should really consider this because there's poor facilitation to these people. Thank you.
Stella?
You to really help us because, like my colleague from Kalangala stated, that moving from one island to another, for example, moving from Lolwe sub-county headquarters to Hama, Siro, or Wayasi, these people need fuel, but they are not facilitated. That one is a serious issue. Secondly, a case of Namaingo, you find that these people, you have stated in the statement that they have uniforms they wear to identify them. I have not seen any. Was it in isolated places or it is countrywide? And then finally, I would like to know from you, Minister, about Ojambo who was arrested in Busia, and you stated that he's on bail. In fact, Ojambo's case was a serious case, and I wanted to know and you to tell the country that what was the cause of arrest of Ojambo, and then what steps have been taken. Because people were there, they gave their statements, and to date, it has not been handled. Thank you.
Buhesh.
Viraro, errors, and I think there's another honorable member who raised the same. Errors, especially by NIRA staff, and especially now to do with old people. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Viraro, allow me to go back and work on this and report to you in particular, Honorable Viraro. I would want further and better particulars of the case so that we follow through. Because if it is NIRA staff, then it's up to us to correct the error. But if it's an error by the person, the client who made the error while registering. That's why I think there's even a charge, because you made an error, and it's up to you to rectify it, but you need to go to the headquarters. Unfortunately, we don't do correction at the district centers in this exercise. And then the islands people, fuel, logistics are all provided. This parliament provided money for this exercise. So there's no excuse at all while islands or other hard-to-reach areas are not accessed. The Honorable from Busia talked about uniform. I said uniforms are not there now, but because we need to identify people, that's why we are going to issue uniforms to NERA staff with tags for ease of identification of those who extort from the public. Ojambo's case, he's on bail, but he's also interdicted. But we don't have the case fully dealt with. He was taken to court and released on bail. He was charged and released on bail. That's what I can say about Ojambo. Places without internet, distances, I think we need to make a clarification of the whole process this far, because you've raised a number of things. Some of them we can rectify immediately, but some, like those places without internet, we need to get stopgap measures, but share the same with the public on what alternatives we have for places without internet, and especially for old people who can't move up and down. Then the Honorable Achon, your ID is still valid, yes, up to 2031. But since the new ID has more features, enhanced features, including the iris, you still can apply to change. There's that provision.
Is it can or you should?
You may, Right Honorable, but if you want to remain with your valid ID until it expires, you can do so. But if you choose to change to the new one, you are allowed. I don't know why they pushed you away, Honorable Achon. I'll assist you to have your features taken for the new ID. And yes.
Honourable Minister, Madam's
particular 10 years, I explained earlier, this issue is universal practice. And the assumption is that in 10 years, your features change. But I understand, and that is the sentiment shared by many people. Even the cost of renewal is not affordable, I think, for the country. So maybe as we get more access to smartphones, as we get more access to the internet, we shall reach a day when we shall just scale up the features online. I agree it's disturbing 10 years, every 10 years to spend all this money to renew, but the assumption is that in 10 years, features of a person change. In 10 years, the ID itself, the paper ID, degenerates. But we would want, hopefully, to go to the e-ID and even the e-passport when all the conditions are conducive. If I may, I want to go to the other questions, and then I wind up. When Honorable Remurikia, people on the border tossed around, yet they have old IDs. We shall work on that one and sort it. The Honorable Nakaziwe, you don't need to pay money for these people to access you, because money was given for the exercise, including generators and all those excuses that people have been making for not coming to the people to register them. Honorable Akelo Okidi, I think we shall review the exercise and the constraints this far, and then make a general statement to the public, especially regarding hard-to-reach areas. Honorable Nachimuri, I think I answered that one. Honorable Court, money lenders have IDs. IDs are not collateral. We have talked about this, and it takes two people to make this mistake. The card holder, but also those money lenders. Both are culpable. So we want to, with the help of leaders like you, Honorable Court, if you know, some of our people I think are vulnerable because they don't have anything else to stake in order to get loans. That's unfortunate that they reach an extent of giving their IDs. But I think we need to take it together as leaders and get those IDs from the money lenders for the people to have them renewed during this exercise. If you can help with further and better particulars so that we follow up, because it is illegal to hold somebody's ID as collateral for a loan. Speed of issuance of cards. Initially we had a hitch, but now card issuance is ongoing. We had a hitch because this exercise has been between USPC, which was given the contract for cards, and then another contractor for the software. The software was more advanced than the card aspect, but the card aspect is also catching up, and we have got cards, but there are protocols for feeding the information from the software to the cards. That's why we got a delay, but so, hopefully... Honorable
Minister, when you acquired the software, couldn't you get to know that there's compatibility?
Compatibility is there, but yes, the availability of the card, ma'am, was a little bit delayed. The money was paid, but we delayed to get the cards to be concurrent with the software. But we have corrected the anomaly, and card issuance will be faster. Hopefully, not beyond 2 months going forward. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker and honourable members.
Thank you. Found them culpable. By the time they find them culpable, that's when they are sanctioned to be taken to court. Some of them are on court bail, others are on police bond. And it is based on that report that an action was taken. If you heard very well how the minister was explaining.
Much obliged, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable, we have a case of children who were registered that time in primary, and now they're in secondary, but up to now they
have stated that there are cases where the errors were made by the staff, the NIRA staff, and there are errors that were made by the applicant. The clarification I'm seeking is, how are you able to determine which error was done by who, either the applicant or the NIRA? Because, for example, I have a relative, he's Masaba, but they spelled it as Masabo. Instead of A, they put an O in the name, but he was made or forced to pay that money in order to change these names. So I want to know how they're able to determine, because as far as I know, everyone who is trying to change any detail on their national ID is being forced or is being made to pay this money, which is quite huge.
Thank you. Honourable Minister.
I'll start with change their dates of birth, especially civil servants, just because they don't want to retire. That's one deliberate mistake we note in the exercise of registration. And then there are people who, today they write their parents are A, then tomorrow they say they are B. Really, that one cannot be NIRA staff. So those are examples of the mistakes of the applicants. But for the names, that one I think it's most likely by NIRA staff, honourable member. So we shall correct that one. And then, yes, Honourable Wakabulin, just a minute, I wanted to, okay, Honourable.
Minister, you become a speaker. Can you finish what you're supposed to? Honourable
Thanks very much, Right Honourable Speaker.
First wait. Let him first respond to what was asked, then you come in.
Honourable.
You just sit near here.
Honourable Christine talked about, but the Right Honourable Speaker clarified that one. On those, you wanted confirmation of termination. I can produce it. But they were terminated because administratively we had to take action. Once a complaint is raised, even without concrete evidence, I think it's best that somebody stands aside, even as investigations go on. Registration of children in primary schools, their names were issued, but most cards are not collected. We have a heap of cards, and I think we shall update the public on this subject, and also the subject of helping students who made errors. This is for Honorable Christine. Last, I want to answer Honorable Amera. I never clarified. Citizenship never expires. And evidence of citizenship is the NIN. Even with the tenure for the ID, the citizenship of a person doesn't expire. I want to thank you, Right Honorable Members.
Honorable Kapulindi has some clarification.
Honorable Seung also